You may have heard about SpaceX's Dogecoin mission to the moon. It was a big mainstream news story back in May and will be historic in its own right. You may not, however, have yet heard about the under-the-radar crypto project that will be hitching a ride into space on this very same SpaceX Dogecoin rocket. Affectionately called the Space Coins, a set of 5 new tokens are set to make history by providing actual, practical utility up in space to those who hold them. So why, pray tell, does it seem like no one is talking about this? After all, love him or hate him, Elon Musk, CEO of SpaceX, moves crypto markets with his mere presence. And yet, the space coins are, for the moment, flying under the radar. Hopefully, this short video will answer these questions and give you a sneak peek into something potentially very special. Let's get to the chase. This new ecosystem of space coins are comprised of 5 tokens: Gamma, Kappa, Beta, Rho, and Z. I'll get into why there are 5 tokens a little later. The brainchild of Samuel Reed, CEO of a Canadian firm called Geometric Energy Corporation, or GEC, these space coins are not crypto vaporware. Rather, they were created to provide very defined, real-world utility, even though that utility will be manifested out of this world above the surface of this planet. But back to the SpaceX connection, Sam and the team at GEC have partnered with SpaceX to launch what are called Cubeats, which are basically small satellites, into low Earth orbit from the Dogecoin Falcon 9 rocket. These Cubeats will be covered in pixels, as in pixels that make up your phone, tablet, and TV screens. Why, you ask? Well, because GEC will be offering the business community of planet Earth the opportunity to be the first to advertise in space. You might be asking yourself, who will see an advertisement on a satellite in space? The answer is everyone who sees all the media coverage of the historic SpaceX Dogecoin mission to the moon. Just ask yourself, what would it be worth to an advertiser to piggyback on the kind of visibility that this story will have? This is where it gets interesting and very pertinent to you and anyone else watching this video. Remember those space tokens I mentioned earlier that will have all of that practical utility? Well, what specifically do they do? Answer: Gamma, Kappa, Beta, Rho, and Z holders will have control over the pixels on the satellite. Let me say that again, as this is critical for you to understand. Holders of these SpaceCoin tokens will control the invaluable pixel real estate that will be used in this historic advertising opportunity. How does this work, and why are there 5 different tokens? Each token will control a different attribute of each pixel on the CubeSat screen up in space. This is the Gamma token website, and as you can see, the logos of the other 4 tokens are all reflected on the site. If you click through, you'll see that the Gamma tokens will control the luminosity or brightness of each pixel. Kappa tokens will control the hue or the color. Beta and Rho tokens control the X and Y axes, or essentially the length and width of the pixel real estate. And last but not least, Z tokens will, among other things, control the amount of time an advertiser can have access to all of these pixel attributes. That's a lot to take in, and there are more details needed on the logistics of how this will all work. But it has been confirmed that each of these 5 tokens will be required to advertise on the satellite. So we know that advertisers who want to take advantage of the media hype that will surround the SpaceX Dogecoin mission will need to gain access to each of the SpaceCoin tokens to obtain the coveted and limited advertising space on the CubeSats. What would they pay for this, you ask? Well, this is literally a first of its kind event, so no one really knows for sure, but think about the advertising budgets that are deployed for high profile events like the Super Bowl, and you might get an idea for the appetite companies have for eyeballs on their brand. Back to one of the very important questions I posed at the beginning of this video. If all of this is true and the project will be so groundbreaking, why is no one talking about it? Well, there's a very good reason for this, actually. Although these tokens were released into the wild, so to speak, a couple months ago and are actively available to trade on Uniswap today, they did not launch with any fanfare to speak of. Crypto influencers like Chico Crypto and P-Stacks have been hot on the trail of what these tokens are all about due to their exemplary research skills and have brought some visibility to the project. But only in the last week or so has Sam Reed from GEC begun to speak publicly about the space coins and verify much of what had only been speculated about before. The reality is that the broader crypto community is accustomed to hype accompanying product launches. According to Sam, however, GEC is committed first to the utility that these tokens will provide to potential advertisers and less focused, at least at the moment, on generating buzz in crypto circles. In my opinion, this approach has created a very unique scenario where a very unique project can somehow fly under the radar and present an equally unique opportunity for those who have somehow discovered it. There is much more I could share about GEC and their plans for the space coins, but I wanted to keep this brief, so I will wrap here. According to Sam, a formal GEC press release may be on the horizon, but until that time, consider this your insider's peek into what may be coming. For now, each of the space coins is currently trading on Uniswap. Be advised that liquidity is still limited for the time being as the project is still in its infancy. You can learn more about the space coins with the growing Telegram community by joining the official Geometric Labs Telegram group, where Sam does pop in now and then. Of course, none of this is financial advice. Thanks for listening.